shame I've been divorced 2 times over dumb shit. I'm ashamed my son call another nigga pops. Cause his mom still bitter, we didn't work it out.
What's up, family? Good morning, everybody. I know y'all like, where is our sister? And I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm literally just turning the computer on this morning. Haven't even loaded up all of my content. But I wanted to come on here because I wanted to have a conversation with you all. Y'all know your girl Ange. Y'all know I constantly stay in my feelings. And I saw what happened yesterday with the Texas shooting, and it literally left me speechless because you all know how I am when it comes to our children. You know how I am when it comes to our children, and I'm going to make this a group conversation today. So I'm dropping the link in the chat. Now, one of the first things I started noticing, y'all, I started noticing all of the people that spoke out about, and let me be clear, this is a really sensitive subject because it involves children. And I have to make sure that I tread lightly this morning. Our hearts are automatically tugged on any situation that involves children, especially elementary school children. We're talking about cowards this morning. And ever since I've been in this fight for community, for activism, for Black family, all of that, the fight that's always been in me has always been for children. Why? They're innocent, they're defenseless, they can't protect themselves, they don't know anything, they believe whatever you tell them, they trust you, they're impressionable, they're dependent on us to feed them, to teach them, to love them, to provide for them, to make everything okay. When things are wrong, children depend on us for everything. It don't even have to be your children. It could be, you could be at a cookout somewhere and don't even know a little kid and see a little kid and them fell in the pool or something. You're going to automatically jump in to save them. You could be on the bus somewhere and see somebody abusing a child. You're going to automatically jump up, to protect that child. You can see some kids in the convenience store that want some candy and don't have no money to pay for it, and you will say, y'all get what you want. As adults, it's supposed to be a basic instinct to protect not only our children, but our elderly. I don't know where y'all at this morning, but I still ain't got over Buffalo. It should be a basic instinct to protect our elders and our babies, right? Like, let's forget about laws. I'm talking to, all my people right now, the street code, because, a lot of us got a lot of street in us. A lot of us, know about street codes. There are certain street codes. Certain street codes. There are certain, things in the family. People know, like, you one thing you're not gonna do. You're not about to disrespect no elder in my family. You're not about to harm no child. Like, there are just certain things we know in the family, in the streets, in society. It should just be a norm. We got 2 shootings back to back that involve the defenseless. Our elderly and our children, right? And because, this is about our babies, of course, we don't want to bring up race. Race don't matter. These are children. Right? These are children. The media, for some reason, if you all are paying attention, anytime it's a mass shooting or a shooting that involves a white person and a black person, is automatically linked to white supremacy. But if it's a white person in the Asian community, like here in Atlanta, it's male supremacy. If it's a Hispanic, young male having identity issues, because I'm going to get into that. Yeah, I put up the picture. I took it down because I needed to make sure it was what it was. But I'm digging. Confusion. Not knowing what's going on. Don't know who you are, where you at, if you coming, if you going. If you up, if you down, if you happy, if you sad. We got 2 shootings back to back involving our elderly and our babies. This reminds me of the last mass shooting that took place at Sandy Hook. Like, I think, one of the reasons why we don't see this at some of our schools in the hood is because we already got metal detectors in our schools. Can't even get through the door. Now, a lot of people be calling this fake, saying it's a fake flag, false flag. I hear y'all, but people are really losing their lives. You can't tell that to the families. They want to push this talking about gun rights. The teacher that lost her life, not only did she need a semi-automatic, she needed to know how to use it. That was the only line of defense her and those children had. In addition to that, and I want to send my condolences out to the families, to the children. Let's be clear that young man is dead, killed on spot. We still got an issue in Buffalo. I need our community to stay focused. That's what the conversation is this morning. Absolutely, it's sad. Absolutely, we need to do whatever we can to support the families, right, of those that have lost their children, right? But do we need to get off track about what our agenda is? Because our agenda is getting legislation passed. This is not the time to let them slide, because what I'm seeing now is I'm seeing a lot of people speak out about this shooting that was silent in regards to the shooting that took place in Buffalo. The shooting in Buffalo took place involving guns on a minority community a few days before the elections. And this shooting that took place involving guns and killing children at our minorities took place on the day of elections. I need my people to get back on track. It say it ain't but 390 people viewing. Y'all know they blocking me. Everybody needs to share. Y'all need to like. Emily, I see you in the back office. I'm going to get to you in a minute. Listen. They want us to get off track. But every time I see one of them speaking on this shooting, Democrat or Republican, and I know that they didn't say a word about the Buffalo shooting, right? Like, how you even call hey man, listen, I'm in my feelings, so if this don't come out right, I'm sorry. But somebody help me understand. You're in office because we're saying, you're a representation of your people. You're supposed to be a voice for us. You're supposed to be speaking for us. You ain't said a word about the shooting that took place in Buffalo. Not only have you not said a word about the shooting that took place in Buffalo, you ain't calling on no legislation. You ain't sponsoring no bill. You ain't introducing no legislation. It don't matter to me if you Democrat or Republican, although I tend to pay a lot more attention to Republicans because I tend to work a little bit closer with them. So now I'm looking at you. Hey man, I'm too real for the fake. Because I know I went down Kim Klacik whole page to see if I seen something about the Buffalo shooting. Somebody that I stood behind and supported. I ain't seen a word. Now, we all need to speak up about children, even me. But I'm saying you can't do both. Huh? You done started a whole organization to push Black Republican candidates, and I ain't seen you say one word about what happened to the Black people in Buffalo. Now, obviously, you are concerned when mass shootings take place. Obviously, you believe that something needs to be done when shootings take place against defenseless people. I need to know why I ain't heard y'all speaking about what happened to our elders. Tim Scott, all of a sudden you talking. Now, I ain't heard you say nothing about Buffalo, and then come to find out, you done voted for the COVID-19 anti-Asian hate crime bill, which is cool. I think everyone is deserving of the same provisions. I am not saying in any form or fashion, take away, what you've done for others or take back what you've done for others. I'm saying, because y'all always speaking up and out and about Black issues for us, what we need to do, how we need to vote, what's it's going to take for us to get back on track. I need to see you not only speaking on behalf of us in times of a crisis, but I need to see you acting. The word says, that God has no respect of persons. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care if you're Black. I don't care if you know me. I don't care how many times you done sat next to me, came around me, kicked it, all of that. I'm looking at you differently. Some of you, I'm not even expecting to do anything because you never have. Some of you, I'm not even surprised. There are some pages, some Black conservatives, I ain't even expecting them to say nothing because you never do. Why would you say something different now? But, for the ones that I know or believe that's truly about us, oh boy, I'm looking at you. And especially if you're an active member in Congress right now. Now, yeah, we with you. We with you. Because y'all already know every Black celebrity now got something to say about the shooting that took place in Texas. And God knows that I feel sorry for those babies. God knows I feel sorry for those babies. And yes, absolutely, I have nothing against us standing with them. But trust and believe that community, they are going to hold those people accountable. That community is going to do what needs to be done to make sure that they receive some type of action, legislation, protection, provision, justice in regards to what happened to those children, which means I need my people to stay on track. Because for some reason, The white boy that went and shot our people in Buffalo, you know, he wasn't shot dead. Huh? He wasn't shot dead on sight. In fact, from what I saw, they treated him like, you know, he was a little 5-year-old kid that had a temper tantrum. Calm down, Johnny. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to take you to McDonald's to get your favorite Happy Meal. Just don't worry. Let's just get you away from all of these people and all of these cameras. It doesn't matter that you're in a black neighborhood and these black people are surrounding you like a mob. You better believe we'll shoot every last one of them dead to protect you, Johnny. We're going to get you in the back of this car and get you down here to the police station. We're going to make sure you got some sandwiches and you're all cleaned up. And we're just going to put you in a paper gown and stand you before the judge so you can tell the judge that you fully understand the charges against you. And then they're going to turn back around and tell us it's mental health. Nah, that boy told the judge he fully understood the charges against him. Not only that, he went and mapped out the scene the day before. Not only that, he planned it. Remember, posted about it. But I can't post nothing about we don't need to be aborting our children. All my pages blocked. Somehow, white boy. Okay, let me calm down. Emily, I see you back there, sister. I'm coming. We talking this morning. Somehow, and I want y'all to come on here and talk to me this morning. Tell me who you seen speaking up and speaking out about this shooting, but they ain't saying nothing about what happened to our elders in Buffalo. Because remember, we still got to fight for justice because they say mental health. You know, for all we know, the white boy could be sent to a hospital for a 90-day evaluation and then set free. Because of the COVID-19 anti-Asian bill that they passed on behalf of Asian Americans. It ain't had nothing to do with us. And I'm going to tell you something else. Republican Party, man, listen. I was at your party last night. I ain't even going to speak too much on it, man. It don't make no sense that me and 2 other people, the only black people at your party. Listen, I'm done playing. It makes no sense that there is no diversity in your party. And you want people to believe you. It's not happening. How can you not see it? The 3 people you got in there look like specks of dirt on the wall. Man, you know what? I'm tired. Black people, listen, it's unfortunate what happened in Texas. It's unfortunate what happened in Texas. Yes, it is. I cried. I couldn't even sleep. My heart is with them. But why ain't nobody heart with us? I'm just asking. Why ain't nobody heart with us? Y'all let Joe Biden come to Buffalo and take a picture at the memorial and go to the community center and talk about white boys with mental health issues. First of all, the disrespect. Then the next week, we got monkeypox. Come on now. Somehow they done tied this to the African immigrants coming to the border. Listen, stop playing with me. The next day, we got monkeypox. Now the children dead at the school. Man, Emily, talk to us.
Hey, Auntie, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Talk to us. I'm tired.
So I'm from New Jersey, where we had a 7-year-old bring a loaded gun into a charter school with a mask or like a face mask and a bodysuit. And his intention was to take out some teachers. But all we heard on that was in the papers. The mayor hasn't spoken up about it. Mayor Ras Baraka, you all know him. He's the next celebrity. You also have the governor who hasn't really spoken out about it. but maybe because it's in a black school, I don't know. So it's been 11 days since Buffalo, right? You asked about celebrities speaking out about the kids being shot up in Texas and not about Buffalo. I just read something about LeBron James. So I went back to his Twitter page because he's talking about these kids and gun control, because everything's gun control. And I never saw anything about Buffalo coming from his page.
Preach.
So I'm trying to understand. Nobody may like what I'm going to say, but I really believe celebrities should be silenced. I'm back on that whole shut up and dribble comment, because I don't need you to talk to me about gun control, kids, when I haven't seen you do anything about black people being shot up, because we're not being lynched, we're being shot. But then again, I think about it and I'm like, well, you got your son going to the prom with a white girl. So maybe you don't care about black people like that.
And Zuri was mad about that. Speak on it.
So maybe I shouldn't even have that conversation about LeBron James, because he's not for the people. Yes, you can build a school and put it in a black neighborhood, but again, you're just doing that to show that you did something, but you're not really for us. That's why I'm saying celebrities need to shut up, because they're the problem, because they all are paid and bought for. So if you have Biden, regardless of how Biden's doing in his presidency, these celebrities will keep telling us, oh, go vote for Biden. But it doesn't help us. It helps them. It doesn't help us, because they got a check at the end of the day to support this man, right? The problem is we don't think for ourselves. The problem is there are many people who think like us, but they're silent because they're scared. Right here in Jersey, there are a lot of black people that are Republicans, but they will never tell you that. They won't tell you that because they're afraid. Because if they speak out, guess what? There's always another black person, a black Democrat, that will sit there and call them names. I got called names because I sided with Trump on something. I got called coon and all this other stuff and harassed. And I'm thinking to myself, but it's just an opinion. Like, I can't have my own opinion. And I realize we are not allowed to have our own opinions. Now, you talk about guns in schools. You want teachers to be strapped and loaded. Here in Jersey, we had a teacher's aide who physically assaulted a special needs child. A teacher's aide. Now, mind you, if that teacher's aide had a gun. These teachers don't need to be strapped. Many of our schools do have police officers. They do have metal detectors. But at the end of the day, we need more. Okay? But we don't need the teacher strapped, because they're already having a hard time just teaching a class of 25. Okay? They're barely even teaching that.
So let me say something. And JoJo, I see you in the background. I'm finna get ready to bring you in. I actually think that teachers do need to be strapped with some type of protection, because if I'm the teacher, and maybe I'm just speaking from me, but if I'm the teacher and I'm in that class with a bunch of children, we can't all hide up under a desk. Our only chance at survival is being armed, right? And I think that when it comes to protecting my life and trying to make sure I have a way to protect those children, that we have at least the last line of defense. Because the reality is this: the police can't get there fast enough. We've seen this every time a shooting happens, every time somebody dies, and then sometime when the police get there, it damn sure ain't no help for us. If we want to talk about what happened to the young man Nigel here in Atlanta, Georgia, he got tackled by a security guard at Fogo de Chao. He shoot the security guard, the police show up, they kill him on sight. Now, if you white, you might have a chance to make it in the jail alive. But if you black and you have to call the police, even in a situation for them to come protect you, there's a chance that you may be shot dead on the scene. So I think for the safety and the lives of our teacher, because even though we lost 18 children, there's a teacher that lost her life too, right? There's a teacher that lost her life too. I would never want to be in a situation where all I can do is beg you not to kill me. I need to be going out blasting. I need to shoot something, shoot anything to try to save our lives. So I think that we need to reevaluate this whole thing in regards to what's going on with our teachers, what's going on with our children, because the reality is this: is bad guys with guns gonna always be bad guys with guns. They're not, even if we have some type of sweeping gun reform right now, ain't none of the people that got guns gonna get bad guys with guns gonna turn their guns in. The only people gonna turn their guns in is the people that really, really think that the police can be there to save them. Those of us that done lived in the hood and lost people, we know that's not really reality. So I think that we should have this discussion about our teachers being armed in the classroom. Jojo, you joining us this morning. Good morning. Talk to us. We can't forget about Buffalo. What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? B1 FBA, man. Foundational Black American in the house, man. What's going on, Angie?
What's going on, my brother? Talk to us. Now,
Yeah.
we got all these people talking about this shooting in Texas, which is unfortunate, and our hearts are with them, of course. But somehow, what's going on with our people? We ain't got justice. We gonna
Right.
forget about our 10 elders. Talk to us.
Right. So check the move. I was listening to your show. I wanted to tap in yesterday, and I know I was like last one. You couldn't get me in and stuff like that. And I was listening to your show yesterday, and I was so glad when you said that you're repositioning yourself to run for office, right? And I wanted to just say this right here, and this is just for real, from the bottom of my heart, man. There are some other people out there that the grassroots are pushing forward. I'm telling you, it's a brother out there in South Carolina called his name is Marcel Dixon out of District 6, running for Congress. I don't know if you heard of him yet, but this brother is on point. I think you guys should collaborate. There should be something to effort as far as the community to push to get you in the right position to do what you need to do to get this anti-Black hate crime bill passed.
Hey, I'm already connected with Marcel, just to let you guys know. I got him coming to the show. So we already on it. Go ahead.
Listen, because see, you know what? The thing is about this whole little situation with them, with this dude shooting up the school. See, they done got the green light to start killing folks like this, man. Because see, they gave that boy Kyle Rittenhouse a slap on the wrist, right? So now all these other little mass shootings popping off because they want to claim that white skin and think that they can go in court.
Let me say this now, because let me say this, and we got to speak factual about this, right? When it comes to that Kyle Rittenhouse case, that is totally different than what's happening with these mass shootings. Now, Kyle Rittenhouse, he killed 2 white boys, and they actually did attack him first. It really was self-defense, if we want to talk about the facts. I don't think it's fair for us to come. I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah, I'm looking at it from the political side. Like,
right.
I'm looking at it from the political side. Like, you know, because the judge, he was actually being a lawyer from the bench. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I was saying. I wasn't talking about as far as the actual, because we know he was in the wrong. You know what I mean? Period. You feel what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like you already said you were gonna go up there and kill them folks. But like, let me get back to what I was saying, right? All of this is the distraction to throw us off from focusing on what happened up there in Buffalo, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to still stay on key with us. It's unfortunate what happened with those kids. It's very unfortunate. You know what I mean? But what happened up there in Buffalo, man, that's what hit home to us, man. That's what happened to our people, man. So I want to close it out right there. I'm gonna land that plane on that note right there. I wasn't trying to take it off topic or nothing like that. I was just trying to show you the connection on how all of a sudden everybody just starting shooting up places and stuff like that all of a sudden. You know what I mean? So, you know, but anyway, I got to get back to work, man. I'm gonna have you in my ear.
I appreciate you this morning, JoJo. Thanks for joining us. Miss Watchman, come on in, talk to us. It's on you. Then we go into Conscious Growing. Have our people forgotten what's going on? What's really behind the scenes? Talk to us.
Hello, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good this morning. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Greetings to all of my brothers and sisters, everyone who's in the chat and on the panel. What we've got to do is we've got to stay focused, just like you said. We cannot, although we have compassion for the babies, we cannot forget what is going on with us and our people. And there's also another lesson we can learn from the shooting with these babies. Our people in Buffalo were soft targets. These babies were the softest targets. Stay focused on us, because if they're coming for those children in Texas, our babies are next on the list. We have got to unify
Not to cut you
We got
off.
to get our paperwork together.
I heard that in my spirit this morning, so this is confirmation. I said our babies are next, and to tell the people to get your children out of the schools. So that's confirmation. Go ahead, Ms. Watchman.
We've got to get our paperwork together, and we've got to start going door to door in our neighborhood. And we've got to put our own party together. We've got to build something that is for us, about us, and to uphold, uplift, and protect us, to govern us. We've got to get back to loving on us. We can have compassion for everybody in the world except us. It's time out for that. It is time to unify and be one. Start reading the Willie Lynch letter, The Making of a Slave. Read it for yourself. Share it with those that you know. Share it with strangers and help them understand what is going on with our people mentally. Instead of putting one another down and talking about what is never going to be, stop speaking into existence the very thing that we don't want to continue, and start being the change that we want to see. Because the change starts with us. If we can change ourselves individually, then we'll begin to see the change in our community. We'll be able to see the change with our people. But we got to get out of these people's face doing this. And what I mean by that is we go away from social media to get organized. We don't talk our business on social media. We discuss the issues and what's going on in the world and in the community. But when we start talking about how we're going to change this with us, we do it away from these platforms. Because once they see us unifying, they are going to try to figure out how to implant somebody who's working on their behalf to tear it down. I say to you, my brothers and my sisters, I say to you, my children, my queens, my kings, my princes and young princesses, get back to loving us. Start with your household. Work out to your family members. Work out to those in your neighborhood and even the strangers that you meet. Maybe once you read that Willie Lynch letter, The Making of a Slave, you'll understand the mentality, the slave mentality that is in a lot of our people that has not been abolished yet. And it is up to us to start making that change, because they are not going to make it for us. These are the reparations that we can begin to create for ourselves. We can stop our brothers and sisters from killing one another once we help them to understand that this is what the slave master had you doing in the first place. It was a fight to the death in order for you to continue to live for his entertainment. Let's defend us. Let's protect us. Let's love and unify us. Let's cooperate with us. Let's get to the table. Let's write out the plan. Let's start putting the plan in action. I love you all. I just pulled up to work late. Angie, I'm working at a school, baby. Okay?
You be careful.
I'm doing security at a school. And that's something
Let me say something. Hold on. First of all, to all the black men that's watching this morning, right? All the black men that follow me, all the black men that's in the comments. See, this is why everybody got to get back in their rightful position. Because auntie, mom, whatever, ain't got no business up there defending the children. We need strong men on the front line. Do not get it twisted, okay? Because what the media is feeding us and what these people want us to believe, even though y'all know we gonna stand up and we gonna die for our children because those are the type of mamas we are. But this is not, right, the correct order. I want to thank you for your bravery. I want to thank you for what you doing, the fact that you risking your life every single day to make sure that our children are in school and able to get an education. And I hope that your words, your presence, and your duty will open up some eyes as to why it's important for us to make sure that we have our men. They don't want us to have our strong Black men. They don't want them on the front line because nothing else is a threat to them other than our men. Please believe that. So thank you. Y'all give her some love in the comments. Y'all thank her for going to the school and protecting our children every day.
We need our kings, and we need for you to teach our young princesses, the young prince who are coming up. Because we can teach them how we think a man should be, but we can't teach them how to be a man. So we need for you all to stand up. If you got a child going to a school, start making, when you're not at work, start making those periodical drop-ins. Let them see your presence. Let them see your presence. It doesn't mean you got to walk up in the school with a gun, but you can sit outside in your car with your weapon and from the street view, watching around, looking to see if anybody is trying that, and you can put a stop to it before they ever make it to the door.
Yep, and I think that's what happened with the gunman over in Texas. It was somebody who was off duty or something, or heard it on the radio that was in the area and went over to the school and killed them before the police even got there. So that's right. Everybody needs to be up and watching what's going on. Thank you so much, Mitch Watchman, for coming in and always tuning in. Get in there to our babies because it's serious out here. We love you.
I love you too, darling.
All right. It need to be some Black men up there at that school standing with her. If y'all recognize Miss Watchman, we don't even want to put her business out there, but if y'all recognize her, y'all know where she at. I don't care if you going up there and sitting outside, like she said, making sure she got some lunch, whatever. Somebody need to be standing with our sister. Everything is out of order, man. We got to get back on track. Conscious Growing, we coming to you. Then we going to David P. Twin Sturvin is next. And then Urabina, you're going to have to correct me when you come on, sis. But talk to us, Conscious.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. First of all, I want to say good morning, everybody. I've been watching it on the news for the last couple of days. It's heartbreaking. I went to the bank like last week, and I noticed that they got these doors, right? That if you go in the bank, and once you get in the first door, right, you can't even get into the second door until the first door is closed, right? So they got money for doors for banks, but they don't got money for doors for kids. That don't make sense to me.
They got money for Ukraine. They got money for assignment surgery. They got money for Asians. I'm not saying the Asians, don't, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I know. I worked for Korean. I worked for a set of Koreans for 10 years, and most of them people got plenty of money. They do not need money. Them people are well off. They come in our communities and make all the money and leave anyway, and take it with them when they leave.
Period.
By the way, I don't. Obviously, we don't matter. Black. What did Black Lives Matter make? What, $90 million this year or something like that, right? And we're already seeing what she's been doing with the money. If anybody's been paying attention, you can see she's been giving money to her brother, her baby daddy, everybody, but Black Lives. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be careful with these organizations. We always, people donate their money. We get caught up in little. I don't know how we do this all the time. The Democrats laugh at us. They say they could have us voting for them for 200 years, and you know what? They well on their way. They're well on their way. You know what I'm saying? I go through my neighborhood and all I see is people with Democrat signs in their window on in front of their lawns, and these people haven't done anything for us. Now I'm not saying I'm no Republican, you know what I'm saying, but I've only been voting a few years, you know what I'm saying, maybe since like Barack Obama, but and that's most of a lot of, if people will admit to themselves, that's when most of these people, Black folk, even started getting involved in politics. Period. Before that, we didn't even want to get involved in. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, I talk to a lot of my friends. I don't care about no politics. And I told my friends, like, dude, that affects everything in your life. That affects your children when they go to school. That affects, if you get pulled over by a cop and get a ticket and go to court, dude, that's political. How you won't get involved in something that affects everything in your life? You know what I'm saying? Where your kids go to school at, how the school set up, if they got security and can afford it, or got special doors so kids can get in, all that stuff's political. This guy's sending, what is it, 40% of the baby food He took 40% of the baby food and they took it and gave 20% to the border and 20% to Ukraine, and now these women can't feed their kids. It's ridiculous, man. This country is out of control, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a Republican, but I am a Trump supporter, and I hope he come back.
Now, I want to say something, y'all. Trey Bien put up a post. Now, remember, I was talking to y'all about, you know, people in the movement out here who I really, really think, you know, is solid regardless of what side they stand on. And Trey Bien is one of those. And so he put up a post and he said that I was invited to the White House today, right, to meet with the president, with the families of those who have been murdered by police. So he says, but the people of Buffalo, New York are really in need as well as the families of the children murdered in Uvalde. So I will have to pass. I will be in the field with the people in need. Man, listen, man, shout out to Trey. See, this is what I'm telling you when you able to discern the real from the fake. He gets an invite from President Biden to go meet on behalf of, and I'm sorry, I gotta say it, the Hispanic children that were murdered in Uvalde. Yes, their lives are valuable and all that. Black people get murdered in Buffalo. He ain't asking you to meet with them about that. Stay on track. Shout out to Trey Bien, boy. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. Regardless of where we stand, Democrat, Republican, whatever, that's the type of energy that we need right now. Dave P, we on to you, y'all. I'm finna get ready to post, you know, his post, man. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. Thanks, Cautious, for joining us. Come on, Dave P, talk to us. We can't hear you. Talk to us. We can't hear you. We still don't have no sound from you. Maybe you got to disconnect your AirPods, turn off your Bluetooth or something. We still can't hear you.
Let's see.
Oh, try to say something.
Hello?
Okay, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Man, this is my first time coming on here, so but I just want to say, Angela, you know, like, shout out to you for everything that you're doing for the community. I've been sharing my parents. I've been sharing my parents your video, and you know, lately they've been trying to you know, connect with you, and sometimes, so, you know, I've been trying to connect with you sometime, and you know, I do want to speak on the shooting. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of bothered by it, you know, kind of shaking a little bit, because it's just kind of depressing, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you send your kids to school and then this happens, you know what I'm saying? And what bothered me about this is that is just the fact that you spoke a lot about Buffalo, right? And the crazy thing is that I think is that when I go on social media, because I go on Instagram a lot and Twitter, a lot of people are sharing this, right? But I didn't see a lot of people sharing Buffalo. And you know, I rock with the Breakfast Club, but I don't agree with everything they say. But I know, like, people like, you know, like Charlamagne be asking questions, right? But like every time he asks a question, Angela Yee and Envy just laughing at it, like they think it's funny, like it's not meant to be taken serious. But I don't think it's funny about this, especially when you have kids getting killed for getting their education. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know that suspect personally, but I don't really want to know him. But I'm just glad. Now, forgive me if I say this, but I'm not trying to be, you know, crazy or nothing. But I'm kind of glad that the guy is dead, you know, for killing all those kids, you know, because the guy in Buffalo didn't even get killed. You know what I mean? And he got cuffed, you know, and now he's, you know, in prison. And it's like, I mean, and it's like, why can't he die? You know what I'm saying? Well, I think the difference between him and the other guy is that he had armor on, and the other guy that killed those kids, you know, he didn't have no armor on, so they were lucky enough to kill him. But it's just like, you know, every time I think about that, it got me bringing back to like the Las Vegas, situation that happened a couple years ago when I was in college, that a white guy got killed up top for, it was a mass shooting that happened in Las Vegas. I don't know, it was a concert or something, and he got killed. You know what I'm saying? And Charlamagne gave him Donkey of the Day, but I'm like, that I feel like that's what you supposed to do. If a suspect pulling up shooting, don't arrest him, get him killed, because we don't want people like him outside in this, we don't want people like him, alive, because he's no longer human to me or anybody else that have the same thought. He's a monster, work from the devil and promoting devil's work, But I do want to say this though, if y'all can think back in, I don't know if I got this correct, but if you could think back in April of 1999, and Eminem did bring this up in the song called The Way I Am. There was a shooting that happened at a school. I don't know the name of the school, but there was two white boys that pulled up and shoot up the school because they claimed they were bullied. Now, let me say this. I live in Michigan, so if y'all remember that export shooting that happened, that shooting, I go to export a lot. So when that shooting happened, I'm kind of questioning, because it's like there's schools where there's a lot of bullying. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know about this kid, but the news will always say that there's something else, where they'll say that somebody is, doing this because they just having evil intentions and they just want to pull up with evil intentions. You know what I'm saying? And so when I think about those two boys that got bullied, I'm just wondering why is every mass shooter that come in, maybe not all of them, but why is every time they shoot up a school, their intention is not because they were bullied. They just do it because they just have evil intentions and they just want to shoot up the place.
Well, you got to be evil to want to kill a bunch of defenseless children anyway. So, and even though we talking about these headlines and we know that they're using race against us, I want to be clear to make sure that we all know that it's good and evil and everything, regardless of race, regardless of political party, regardless of, economic status. It's just good people and there's bad people. And that's why we're seeing a lot of this stuff happen. 1 week it's a racist white boy. The next week it's a Spanish kid or Hispanic or whatever, or Latino that's having some gender identity issues. So it should show us that it's good and bad and everything. However, the media is allowing race, political party, sexual, preference to be things that divide us instead of bring us together. I'm gonna move on to LS. LS, we need to hear from you. Then we go into Twin Sturvin. I got Marquise, Charles Marby, and then I think Urabina, I guess Miss Brooks, she got kicked out. We're gonna bring her back in. LS, talk to us.
What's going on, Angie from the block?
What's happening? Talk to us.
Man, I got a few things to say. Right now, I want everybody not to, and I know it's difficult, not to get caught up emotionally in what just happened in Texas. But let's go back to Newtown in Connecticut. And remember that everything they told us about that wasn't true. I think it's, for those that don't know, false flag don't mean people don't die. False flag mean they lying to us about what happened. And if they lying to us, we can't believe them. So don't think they won't do the same playbook again. Like you just said, right after what happened at Tops, what we get? Monkeypox. And then we get this right here last night. But it's people in the chat, and I'm just going to say one person in particular, because I ain't see all the chat, that's saying drop the guns. For what? You can't protect yourself then, like you just said, and like I've been telling our people out here in public, bruh, the police ain't gonna get there faster than you can get to your hip.
Facts.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? And don't be rolling with the 9. You better be rolling with something that's got some 4.5s in it with the hollow tips. Don't play no games. I got 3 kids. We was at my son graduation yesterday. Me and the wife strapped in there. Not that we was there to do harm to other people, but if the wrong person come up in there, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. You know, the cops ain't gonna protect us first. Shit, they won't even come fast when you need them.
I'm telling you.
And then when they show up, 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10, they show up late.
You better
if they show up.
It take them a whole hour to get there in some neighborhoods. Then
a whole hour. Look, Angie. I had a gun stolen from me where we used to stay several years ago. You talking to the person who figured out who stole it. Ask me how long it took the cops to get there when I called them. 4 hours. 4 hours? And I got the kids who did it, and they were our own. And I made sure them kids didn't get a record, but I also made sure that they learned a lesson behind it. If they really did, that's on them. I did my part to try and protect them and teach them. But now's not the time to be unarmed. Here in Georgia, we got constitutional carry. For all those who say, man, they gonna shoot us first, bro, I've been all over this state strapped. All over the state strapped, working in public places. I'm not gonna name the retail stores, but in public places, armed.
You ain't got no choice.
Since the beginning of the year, when I started working this project I'm on right now. It ain't no game out here, and cops been in and out around me. I'm 6'4", ain't one of them says anything to me.
Yep.
You carry yourself a certain way, look, there's some cops out here that's fucked up. Ain't no question about that. It's jacked up people and everybody in every line of work. But what you can't do is not protect you just because they say, well, we need to drop the guns. That's going to, stop the violence. No, that's just going to leave you in a position where you can't protect yourself. The same way cops go to work and they want to come home, we want to come home too. Like I tell my kids, come home the way you left. And protect yourself. Look, Jesus told his disciples, they said, well, Lord, we have 2 swords. He told them that's enough. The first sword is him. The second sword is the one in your hand. And this 2022, so we ain't carrying swords. We carrying guns. And you're best to have a knife too, because you might have to get up close and personal.
Period.
That's all I got to say.
Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm going to Miss Brooks. Miss Brooks, you got kicked out. You back in. Talk to us real quick. What's going on?
Okay.
We can hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you can hear me.
And hear you.
Glory to God. I'm getting ready. I'm about to clean out my car to drive to Georgia this weekend. So I'm a little hype. But I just want to make a couple points and then I'm gonna log off because let other people on. I just wanted to say, and I like what the brother said and the sister said before me. But I wanted to say that for one, they try to make it seem like when they allow the guns to be passed and for us to get our hands on more guns, like that's when it became an issue. But I said, Angela, I want you to make sure you make this a point when they try to come for us, because the people that are doing these mass shootings are none of the people that got these new guns. And when everybody ran to go get guns to make sure that we protected ourselves in the United States of America. I wanted to say that, we're law-abiding citizens with our guns. The people that are doing all these shootings, 2 different types of people. So they can sit up there and try to make it seem like, oh, no, we need to go get the guns. No, you don't. Because the people that went out here and got guns lawfully, they're not the ones out here committing these heinous crimes.
I totally
Also, what'd you say?
I agree with that.
Exactly. So they're trying to make it seem like, yeah, oh, when that gun law came up, now it's mass shootings. No, the people that went out there and got guns are law-abiding citizens. So I don't know where they pluck these people from to do these individual acts. Two, just like they do this stuff all the time, and they use our people as casualties. They're trying to distract us, was a very good point, from that meeting that they're having in Switzerland. That's strike two, because like I say, they're trying to issue something on us. Another thing that was stated was that, we're going to have our states protected. So state by state, like, some states that are a lot more proactive, like Florida, and that will stand up and say, okay, you're not coming in our state. You're not allowing the UN to come in our state. And, protect their citizens with their military, because every state has a military.
Right.
So we're going to have to do it state by state. And many of you that are in states full of these ratchet Democrat and liberals, especially the liberals, get the heck on. Because I almost feel like I'm in North Carolina. That's why I say I almost feel like these people in North Carolina don't really stand for what they try to act like they stand for here. They've always voted Republican, but I feel like they voted Republican just to have little petty laws to keep Black people poor in this state, to me. So like I say, I think that was their issue with their Republican votes all the time, because I study law in this state. So I know exactly how they operated. But like I say, when it comes to stand up and fight in this state, I think they weak and cowardly. So I need to be somewhere where they ready to stand up and whoop behind.
Well, y'all all of us come to Georgia, because I'm definitely finna jump back in the race. So
I know, right?
We getting ready for it, because we got to get some real ones in here. Somebody got to be a voice for us. Somebody got to be willing to stand. I got to post up, everybody. Thank you, Miss Brooks, for joining us. I got to post up, everybody, from Trey Bien, if you guys are looking on the screen. This is the energy that we need. This is the energy that we need. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. How you gonna invite someone who is an advocate and outspoken? And this is what I mean by standing on what you say. Stand on your word. You about that Black life. Show these people. How you gonna invite me to the White House? Trump ain't never invited me to the White House to talk about what was going on in the Asian community or the Latino community. Not that, I would have anything against what they got going on, but obviously, right? I can talk about what I know that can impact or has impacted, or what I believe can benefit, the life that I've lived and the communities that I am from. Man, shout out to Trey Bien, man. This is what I'm talking about. See, these are the type of men, ladies, that are deserving of your respect, right? Get a man that's willing to stand on his word. Listen, it ain't about a political party. He said what he said. Yeah, our heart is with those people, right? But we ain't gonna forget about our elders that just got shot dead in Buffalo, New York. And y'all gonna tell us it's because of mental health, and then the next week we got monkeypox. Come on, man. Why ain't nobody calling this man a racist for even trying to say something about monkeypox after 10 elders was just murdered? And I showed y'all the video about the governor up there talking about it just shows how fast this virus can spread. Do y'all remember that clip I showed y'all of the governor when we were talking about what was happening in Buffalo? And she went on the scene, the little white lady, and she was talking about what happened in that community. And she said, y'all already know I'm finna go pull the clip while I let the next person talk. She said something about, I was like, it's real weird that she would say something about a virus and it spread, and after 10 Black people were murdered. And then the next week, the next day, they talk about monkeypox. Y'all, I'm finna go pull the clip. Come on, man. I'm going to my boy Twin Stirring. Then we going to Marquise Talk to us.
Hey, how you doing, Angela? Good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to let you know that I remember one time Floyd Mayweather said this in an interview. When they said black and brown, that's code that we have to share our movement and our rights with other people. There is no black and brown. There's just black because I grew up in New York around a lot of racist Spanish people. They're very racist, just as much as white people are. So, this is just a distraction. Like I remember back then when Trump was being vilified about separating children at the border, and I remember youth came out and said, "How about the children being ripped away from their families in these major cities by these corrupt family court and DHS workers? How about that?" I remember you pointed that out, and I'm like, listen, this is the same distraction. This is all what they do. They'll take a tragedy and try to overpower our tragedy and try to probably wash it away like a car wash. So basically, they're gonna car wash Buffalo with Texas. And the thing is, we shouldn't let them do it and stuff because, really, who we should be bombarding our stories with is the media. We should be making mass phone calls up to these medias saying, listen, you're going to stay on our story and you're not going to discount our story for their story. Because the same thing they did, like with the children being separated at the border, when you got mothers losing their babies with no due process in this DHS family court system. Babies are being ripped away from their parents because they did nothing wrong. You just got corrupt judges, and then you got the community advocates, lawyers that works for the same department, helping them take away your babies. And nobody's talking about this. All this stuff is just being swept under the rug, and it's really got to stop. I mean, this is why I tell people, you can say what you want about conservatives, but the people that really owe us is the Democrats. They need to pay up for all the years we kept them in office and in power. They have done nothing for us. All they did was really empower the rich and every other group except for black people. They looked out for every other group except for black people. They gave more money to other group to black people. So I want to hear about no black and brown. We need to stop talking black and brown. It's just black. Like really, it really is. Like I can show you a lot of racist Spanish people. Just go to New York, you'll see it. Like these people are just as same group as the whites, Asians, and all other races that fight against us. I'm telling you, we in this fight by ourselves. If y'all can't see that we are in this fight by ourselves, they always try to do it. They did it with the Native Americans. Now they're doing it with Hispanics. They always want to group us in with somebody to so they can stop what they owe us. They don't want to pay us, and we gotta stay on their necks, because if we don't, they're gonna keep controlling the narrative. Like there was never no black and brown in the 90s. That black and brown crap came in the early 2000s because they just want to put somebody in front of us, and we need to stop. And we need to stop it now, and we need to start talking about what really goes on in these neighborhoods. Like I said, they're fighting to kill babies. Or how about rescuing babies from this crooked DHS system that we have? And I would just land right there.
Man, you brought it with that, and you're right. We talking about separating families at the border. Ain't nobody saying nothing about our families being separated, right here in the border. Thanks for joining us. Marquise is on you. Then we going to Empress Butterfly. Then we go into Charles Marby. Talk to us.
Good morning, Auntie. What's going on?
Good morning.
Honestly, I love the fact that you got my boy Trey up here. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I've got to meet the man on numerous occasions, and the guy really is.
That's that guy.
Okay. Yeah, that guy's really a little saint. I'm actually in one of his videos, but
okay.
But speaking on the fact, so I have a 5-year-old daughter who goes to elementary school out here in Texas, and what I'm gonna say is I feel that it is a strategical ploy by our government to try to get Texas unarmed, because my daughter's school, If you go to the school, you can't just walk in her school. You have to be buzzed in. And I don't understand like the fact that how a guy was just able to walk on a campus with a gun. I mean, I hear in HISD period, it's always HISD police on every campus on the school. It's like you can't even skip school or they go catch you. So I feel that this was like more or less a strategic ploy. Now my heart goes out to them babies because like I said, I have a 5-year-old daughter, and I couldn't even imagine if something like that was even happen to her. But this is all being done on purpose, I feel, and I feel that they sweeping the Buffalo thing under the rug because it was black people, you know what I'm saying? But now when it was some white kids who have been killed, it's gonna be some like you say, it's gonna be something done. I feel like our buddy said before, it's like this is specifically a black thing, and I feel like we need to as people like come together and stop, make sure we don't get our wagons hitched to other plights. You know what I'm saying? We need to keep reminding people now, well, thing that happened in Buffalo happened still. Y'all shot the Mexican guy who went and killed them kids, but like you say, you know what I'm saying? They took the white boy out of who shot up the top stove, like he was gonna go to McDonald's and get a Happy Meal afterwards. So it's Auntie, I just feel that we gotta if you are able to get your guns, please arm yourselves up, because I agree with you on that too. Because me, I have me a small arsenal, but if you can't protect yourself, you can't expect nobody else to protect you. And I mean, I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't gonna take up too much time, Auntie.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. You see that boy Trey being out there, tell him we sending him our love. Everybody, y'all need to go follow Trey, support whatever that brother got going on. That's definitely a real one for the community. So shout out to y'all in Houston and everything y'all doing to uplift y'all people over there. Empress Butterfly, then we going to Charles Marby. Let's go.
Hello. Salutations, everyone. Good morning, Mrs. Stanton. Thank you so much for having me. What I'd like to say is something keeps striking me every time I hear about these incidents, and it's kind of like a thread reaching off of the previous guy who was on the broadcast. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit nervous, so let me just take a breath. Okay. I don't know if anyone has ever seen that movie, The Manchurian Candidate, but I just keep on thinking about that movie. In addition to another documentary I watched about, it's called The Montauk Boys. And basically what this documentary is about it's like these scientists, somewhere in Rhode Island or something, they have like these experiments going on where they're working with like mind control and stuff like that. And we all know that like the homeless and the runaways, they have really been like, a target for all these kind of weirdo kind of things, right? So basically the documentary is about this. They mind control these kids that they have kidnapped, and it comes to a point in the, in the program where they decide to like treat the boys. Okay, they've trained them, they've abused them, but they get like a Munchausen syndrome where you kind of like, I'm sorry, Stockholm syndrome, where you kind of like have some kind of affection for your captors. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they've abused you, but at the same time, they fed you and clothed you and kind of took care of you. So it's like a weird kind of mind thing that they do. Anyway, connecting it to The Manchurian Candidate, right? If anyone has seen this movie, it's a bunch of soldiers who all remember that they was in war. They remember it perfectly, but it turns out that they were drugged. They were some kind of project that they was working on, they was doing with the soldiers, where they all thought they was in this war and everything. Fast forward to the plot of the movie. Basically, they have implanted some sort of device into these people, into these soldiers, to where they don't know, they don't know that they feel like they live in a normal life anyway. Next thing you know, they've murdered somebody. The whole thing, the whole plot is basically someone calls them on the phone, says some kind of thing that triggers them, and then they go out and do this mission. Why I'm saying this is because, like, it just seems so strange to me that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, all of these incidents are happening right after these laptop from the sitting president, his son, came out with all of these nasty and nefarious things on it. So, like the guy said, yes, a false flag does not mean that no one gets killed. Yes, people get killed, but my thing is, I feel like it's being orchestrated. In addition to that, I feel like these Montauk boys, i.e. these Manchurian candidates, are out here, and a lot of them don't even know that they're ticking time bombs. So, like, we just don't know at this point. So I just want people to be aware, that it's a lot more going on that meets the eye, and we really need to really prepare ourselves for like more events like this. And disarming ourselves is not what we should be doing right now. We should be arming ourselves. In addition to that, we these white folks and every other race, including the Chinese, they have their kids at the gun range. They have them learning how to do karate, learning how to hunt in the woods, do survival things. Us black folk, we don't do none of that. When that's all of the stuff that we need. You understand? And one more point, and then I will go. In order for us to truly heal and truly have our strength back, we need our reparations. You understand? That is number one. We need to be restored, because there's no way we can protect ourselves and we in somebody else's house. We can't even set up a perimeter, because this is not our perimeter. You understand? We have been corralled into these cities. Our land has been taken from us. We have no legacy. We have no strength. You understand? And these laws are not here to protect us. We don't need more people to speak for us. We need to be able to speak for ourselves, and we need our land and our legacy back, so that we can stand on that and heal in the spirit and in the mind. Because like I'm not sure who brought up the Willie Lynch letter, but that is real. Okay, it is psychological, it is real, and that's why the black woman is in the front and they got the black man in the back, because we are in the front to try to protect the black man, because they just shoot them down any chance they get, because they want to decrease our race, you understand, and leave the black woman unprotected. And your guy is right. There is no black and brown. It is black, and then they have their race. Because if you look in the stores all around in New York City, at first it was all Puerto Rican owned in the stores. That's why we get bodega from. Now, if you look all around the stores, you got Ock here, Ock there, and Chinese restaurants there. The Chinese don't need no money. The Puerto Ricans don't need no money. The Afghans, the Ukrainians, nobody needs money but us. We need our money, we need our legacy, and we need our land back. Period. Everything else is trash. Thank you so much for your time and all that you do. And it's a shame that more people is not out there with you.
Thank you so much, sis, for joining us this morning. And shout out to everybody that's out there listening. Y'all know I went and I pulled the clip now. Y'all know one thing about me, I do not play. Let's play this clip from when Governor Hochul was up there in Buffalo, and she basically compared the shooting to a virus. And then the next thing we know, the media reports were all about the monkey virus. Y'all check this out, and then we're going to get back to the panel.
Susquehanna Valley. School officials alerted police, which resulted in a mental health evaluation. Authorities say he was released shortly later. Now, less than a year later, 18-year-old Peyton Gendron is accused of killing 10 and injuring another 3, streaming his first steps on a gaming platform. Twitch said the feed was removed within 2 minutes of the violence.
What alarms you the most leading up to this incident? This person intended to have a broad platform live streaming it, sharing his information, his ideas, his hatred online. There are others who know this now. And that's what scares me, is how far this virus is now spreading and how quickly.
Now, I know I ain't crazy. Nah, I know I ain't crazy. And I know I ain't no conspiracy theorist. Now, I told y'all when I played this video for y'all, I say, what in the hell, excuse me, Mama King, hell is in the Bible, I'm sorry, do a virus have to do with the people that were murdered and shot dead in Buffalo? Y'all telling us a crazy white boy, white supremacist when it murdered our folks, and you talking about a virus. Now, I ain't saying we conspiracy theorists or nothing like that, but I promise you this is fair use, and we just asking because this is the Ask Show Live this morning. We just asking, how did you get a virus out of 10 of our elders being shot dead in Buffalo, New York? And the next thing we know, everything in the headlines is talking about the monkeypox. I'm going to play it just one more time, and we're going to get back to the panel, y'all. We just asking. Y'all tell me if I'm crazy. They told y'all I was crazy. They said, don't pay me no attention. I'm a lunatic. That's what they said. We listening right now. Let's play it one more time.
Tonight, new details on the man behind Saturday's stunning attack. Authorities confirming this wasn't the suspect's first run-in with trouble. Last June, state police say he made a threatening statement at his high school, Susquehanna Valley. School officials alerted police, which resulted in a mental health evaluation. Authorities say he was released shortly later. Now, less than a year later, 18-year-old Peyton Gendron is accused of killing 10 and injuring another 3, streaming his first steps on a gaming platform. Twitch said the feed was removed within 2 minutes of the violence.
What alarms you the most leading up to this incident? This person intended to have a broad platform live streaming it, sharing his information, his ideas, his hatred online. There are others who know this now. And that's what scares me, is how far this virus is now.
They telling me she referring to his hate as a virus or the white boy as a virus. No, I refer to it as white supremacy. What? You ain't got to call it no virus. Y'all come on, talk to me, man. Who up next? I think Charles Marby's up next. Then we going to Jamal Keenan and my girl Shawnee, and we going to rap. Talk to us. And listen, if you watching, if you tuned in, 882 people, they say Kwame over there live. So that's probably why our number's low. I hate when we go live at the same time. But y'all make sure y'all please support. Y'all please support the channel. We cannot forget about our own, y'all. They saying, it's a virus, white supremacy. This shooter that happened down in Texas was shot dead on the site. This white boy, we know they kindly took him to jail. We don't have justice for our elders. Are we supposed to be switching the narrative this soon? Or are we going to get with our boy Trey Bien and myself and we're going to stay on track? Talk to me, Charles.
What's up, y'all? Good morning. It's Uncle Charles. We need to stay on code. I keep telling you, here we go again. I don't have just about enough of this mess. See, let me tell you something. When I was growing up, back then we used to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we said the Lord's Prayer in the morning time. And the worst thing you had to worry about is a joker throwing up Thunderbird where he been drinking all night because they don't turn the off. This is the only thing you had to worry about. And then somehow or another, the man saw fit to take prayer out of schools, and even the 10 Commandments, because it's a little bit too tight for him. Well, guess what? They did the same thing downtown Birmingham. And had 2 attorneys to jump off buildings, and another one, they found his head in a garage and his body somewhere else. But you didn't want prayer in these places. And this is why it happened. We are in trouble, y'all. This is not over. It will be another one before the week is ended. I guarantee you that. Somebody said, don't say that. I'm saying it. See, the thing is that you don't want to hear it, but you're going to have to. You're going to. Listen, you can't take prayer out of school. Prayer is what protect our children. That's what protect our children. And Joe Biden, Lord have mercy, OMG, Joe Biden, they asked him about those 10 elderly people up there. And when they asked him, he was sleep then. Said, Mr. President, we lied. Oh, racism have no problem in America. Man, go back to sleep. Because you don't give a damn about our people. I'm telling you that right now. Let me explain something to you. Well, all you get through with all that talk, where is our African-American anti-hate bill? I don't care that about Al Sharpton talking about. And if Al Sharpton's going to talk about that Bohemian diet you own, that you should be off it because it's working. Talk about that. What you want to talk about now is the anti-African-American bill. We need legislation. I don't want to hear nothing about no legislation no more. I don't hear that about Crispy Crump talking about we need all the protection we can get. I don't want to hear him talk either. All I want to talk about is the anti-African-American, anti-race bill, and I want to talk about this high-ass gas. That's what I want to talk about. I don't have enough of this mess. Watch your children. Protect your babies. I hear this saying a black man should be in the home and protect his kids, well, at home and abroad, and he should. But how you going to protect your babies and you locked up? How you going to protect your babies and you putting on fingernail polish? How you going to protect your kids? You can't protect them, okay? You protect them by holding that house down, protecting your woman, protecting your kids, and let them know. Sometimes you might have to make a decision, well, I'm going to have to do something to somebody to protect my babies and to protect my family. Sometimes you have to make those choices. Because I called the police one time at 4 o'clock in the evening, and they got there at 4 a.m. in the morning. And he said, asking me what I'm upset about. Man, I'm in now in my dream. And you asking me what I'm upset about. I'm upset because you broke my sleep. That's what I'm upset about. They don't never come on time. At least not for us. At least not for us. Now I figure if I was Bob, maybe you got there in 10 minutes. But my name ain't Bob. I'm Uncle Charles. And I'm sick and tired of this. Watch your kids. Angie, Miss Angie, I know you got children, nieces and nephews. Watch your babies. Be ready to go. Be ready to throw down at any minute. I keep hearing this telling them we should overcome. We shall overcame. But we just tired of goddamn walking. We sick of it. I love Martin Luther King with everything I got. But the worst thing could happen was immigration. Because you took our business out of our neighborhood, our communities, and everything. And as soon as Martin Luther King, they took that protection off him, what did they do to him? Everybody was locked up and we shall overcome. And when protection came off him, that was it. And that's all I gotta say. Protect your babies. Do not let nobody hurt your kids. When somebody mess with your child, you gotta act like you crazy too. And that's all I gotta say.
Listen, and that's our job as parents. Ain't that our job as parents? Our job is to protect our children. Like Unc said, it's some decisions we got to make. Hey, it's some decisions we got to make. It's some decisions, it shouldn't even be a choice. Some things ain't even a choice. Like we was talking about earlier, basic instinct for us to protect children. We going to our ex-educator, say he left the school because of the agenda that's going on. Jamel, you up next. Then we going to Keenan, and then we going to Shawnee. Thank you, Unc, for joining us again this morning. Y'all stay tuned. I think Kwame Brown gonna be joining us shortly. Jamel, it's on you. Jamel, you there?
Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
Okay, I can't hear you. But I just wanted to say to the sister, thank you for having me on again, Angela. I hadn't heard from you yet about joining the fight with you. I told you I was available to be.
Oh, I already know we
to be serviced. Yeah, all right, but I wanted to say to the sister in North Carolina, I'm in North Carolina. Also, I totally agree with you. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the land by myself, especially when I talk to some friends and family members about some of this stuff. There was another lady that mentioned a lot of this being orchestrated. I got on pretty late. I totally agree. I tell people about the MK Ultra that our government has been doing for decades. And I wanted to say something about the conspiracy theory term. Like, it really gets on my nerves. And I'm to the point now, if people want to label me as that, you can label me as it, because there's no such thing as coincidence. And a lot of times they give us that word conspiracy theory to shut us up, and because we don't want people to quote unquote look at us like we crazy. But we know what we see and we know what's going on, and we're not done. Now, a lot of this stuff is being orchestrated, especially with these shootings. And I watched that video the other day where you were showing with Alex Jones, and something just stuck out to me when he said that there was going to be shootings in low-income neighborhood grocery stores, these schools. And I'm just like, oh my God, but now it's coming back to back, back to back, back to back. Why? Because they're trying to take our guns from us. And then too, with our people, I think going back to the North Carolina comment, with our people, we are so married to this system of race that they gave us. The same people that we say oppress us are the same ones that gave us this system of race. And they know that the human mind can be programmed. So we're going to classify it. And just like we've been programmed as quote unquote black people, white people that don't got money and ain't the elite that's not making these powerful decisions and running these countries, they've been programmed just like we have or whatnot. It's all a big social engineering program. And we are so married to that term to the point where, and I'm proud to be quote unquote black or whatever they want to call me. I'm proud of my skin color. I would never take that back. And I also agree with the brother that just got off about integration. I really, really think they use Dr. Martin Luther King's face to push an agenda. Of course, we see that agenda today. I was just talking to my best friend. I was like, do you know that June has historically been Black Music Month? But now they pushing it where we got Black Pride Month starting June the 1st. And I was like, they use us to push these agendas, but then slowly fade our face away. So I do think that Dr. Martin Luther King was used for that. I do think integration was a big mistake for us. We need to get back to segregating and getting our own communities. And then this monkeypox, I really think that this is going to be the next push for them to lock us down and give that power to the World Health Organization. So I'm to the point now, people want to call me or us conspiracy theorists, let them call us, because we know what we see and we know we're not dumb. Y'all, we got to stick together and y'all stay encouraged. I love you, Angela. You keep fighting. And like I said, let me know how you can use me in that fight, sister.
We're going to be reaching out to you within the next week, everybody. Kwame just joined us. We're going to get his 2 cents, of course, on what's going on. But I want you all to look at what I've put up on the screen. Now, if you all have not joined the email list, you need to go over to the website and subscribe so I can send you the number. This list right here, if you look at the top, it says all numbers start with 202, then 224. And then these are the last 4 digits. So these are all of your senators that voted for the COVID-19 anti-hate crime bill, right? On behalf of the Asian Americans. So if you see this list right now, you need to make sure, for one, write down 202, 224, and then these are the last 4 digits. And you need to make sure that you are contacting your senators in this area and demand a duplicate, okay, of Bill S937. We want a duplicate of Bill S937 for the Black/African American community. I'm not separating us by who was slaves, who wasn't slaves. I ain't doing none of that. None of that spoke about in the COVID-19 bill. They didn't say nothing about which Asians, been former slaves and none of that. This is something that they did for the entire Asian community. And I know people in the comments saying they're not going to do it. It don't matter. This is what we're on. Listen, Keenan and Shawnee, real quick, we're going to get to you. Anthony Ridgway, and I got Kwame. Kwame, before we go to the next guest, man, listen. They basically telling us, it's unfortunate. We love children, but are we just forgetting about what happened with our own people? Trey Bien just put up a post saying they invited him to the White House to stand on behalf of, the families of the children murdered in Uvalde, but he passed on it because he said he's standing with his elders in Buffalo. What's going on? All of these celebrities now got to say something. They ain't say nothing last week.
I told you these celebrities are used as political pawns. I mean, the more subscribers that they have, the more followers that they have, the more the influence that they have over the people. So they're going to be controlled by all of these entities and these organizations that give them monetary gain. Celebrities can't say anything. The moment they take the money, you cannot say anything. But I noticed with the whole shooting situation in Buffalo and now in Texas, all they keep talking about is guns. You can lay a gun on the table and it will not fire. It will not do anything. And so what would make a teenage boy want to kill his grandmother? The love that I have for my mother and my grandmother, and the fear that I had for my mother and my grandmother. What is the upbringing of these children to where that they want to take it that far? We got to start diving into the minds and what happened in the households and not trying to make everybody punished for something. It's definitely a tragic event, but making a gun ban is not going to stop somebody that set out to hurt somebody. That's not going to stop them from doing that. We got to get to the root cause of it.
Kwame, I want you to look at this. Now, y'all, I'm going to pull this off the screen for a minute because I want to share with y'all the executive orders that the governor up in New York signed immediately following the shooting death of our 10 Black elders. Y'all watch this right quick, and then we're going to get right back to the panel. Everybody that's on the panel, mute your mics right quick so there is no echo for our audience in the background. I want to watch this video, and then Kwame and panel, we're going to get back to y'all. I want y'all to tell me how y'all feel after watching this. Like, this is what we got. Asian community got the anti, Asian hate crime bill, but this is what we got. This was 6 days after the shootings took place in Buffalo, New York, of our 10 elders. Check this out.
There's a renewed effort to tackle gun violence in the wake of the Buffalo supermarket shooting. Today, Governor Hochul issued 2 new executive orders as part of a larger plan to get guns out of the hands of dangerous people. CBS 2's Kevin
2 orders.
has the details.
The assault rifle used by the alleged shooter at a Buffalo supermarket was obtained through a loophole in New York's laws.
Does anybody think this is a gun? Our laws don't.
The Bushmaster XM15 purchased by the suspect is not considered an assault weapon in the state. It's an AOW, which stands for any other weapon. Those firearms aren't as well regulated. Changing that requires legislative action. Another change Governor Hochul is proposing would make ammunition traceable.
This is the type of bullet that was used to kill 10 people in Buffalo on Saturday afternoon. Okay. What we don't have is a way to give each of these bullets a unique fingerprint each time the firearm is discharged. It's called microstamping when you do that.
In the immediate, the governor signed 2 executive orders, one meant to toughen red flag laws.
They need to be strengthened now. We found a way they need to be made better.
The other creates the first ever Office of Counterterrorism meant to fight the rise of white nationalism.
You can't act on the evil thoughts that have possessed your mind and the hatred that fills your heart if you don't have access to a weapon.
Concerns over gun violence and the availability of weapons are widespread. In the city, more than 24 kids under the age of 16 have been arrested for gun possession so far this year. Wednesday morning, a 15-year-old was taken into custody at his high school after 2 9mm handguns were found in his book bag at York Early College Academy in Queens. On Tuesday, an 11-year-old girl was shot and killed by a stray bullet in the Bronx.
It's too easy to get a gun. These young people feel
Can I point something out to y'all? Do y'all see that when she was signing the executive order, everybody standing behind her was white? But when you come to the field to see who the victims are, they are all minorities. If you feel like you doing something on behalf of us, why you don't have nan one of us standing behind you to stand and agree on this? And somebody please explain to me, how is it that Joe Biden and these people in office can sign legislation and give executive orders, right, for Asian community after 11 months, but Black people, we still begging and they want us to forget? Let me stop this video right here and just get back to the panel. Kwame, come back in. This is just what you said. This is what we got. 6 days after our elders were murdered, this is what the governor in New York did for our people, supposedly.
They've been saying that they were going to come after these guns for the longest, and they have video up of the people who are in charge now. Before they got in charge, they have video of these people saying that there's things you can do in tragedy, in adversity. There's laws that you can pass. So that's what they're going to take advantage of. None of this stuff is going to be beneficial because they're not even going to. Okay, let's just say they put a gun ban. They do an AR-15 ban. Okay, a little kid decides that he wants to shoot up a school, God forbid. Let's say he using 2 9mm. Is that going to stop him from being able to act out whatever it is in his mind that he want to do? No. So why not have some officers at these schools and stop letting these schools be sitting ducks? Columbine should have taught us something. In every school, we need to have 2 peace officers in that school, and they need to be ready and trained to deal with a situation like this. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to stop it.
Man, really quick, Keenan G, you've been waiting. Give us your thoughts right quick, and then we're going to go to Anthony, and we got Chief and Shawnee, and we're going to come back to Kwame to end the panel out, but we really just tossing off of each other. Keenan, talk to us.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Hey, shout out to Bus Life. I'm gonna call him Bus Life. He wants us to call him by that. So I'm gonna say Bus Life. Shout out to him.
Thank you.
Shout out to Angela Stan for having me on your panel. But I want to start by saying the Buffalo shooting. We're gonna start off there. I feel like it's that our people being killed is like, it happened. And then we have this Texas situation to where my opinion, I think that it's a distraction because everybody's starting to yell Black lives or Black hate crime, Black hate crime, everybody, you hear that a lot now. You don't hear from the mainstream, but a lot of people, I see a lot of hashtags, I see a lot of people yelling Black hate crime. So I feel like now that this Texas thing is going on, they made it much bigger than our situation. And I kind of took that as offense. I understand, yes, lives were lost, my condolences. But why is it that our Black people are just swept under the rug and nothing's going on? We ain't taking no action. All we hear is gun violence. And back to the gun violence. My opinion again, I think that they are trying to strip everybody from their guns, because after they do that, they will be able to come in and do whatever they want and exterminate us the way they really want to. That's how we got here in the first damn place. They had guns, we didn't. So if we tried to run, they'd just shoot us. That's how the Holocaust happened with the Jews. When they wanted to take over their race, they didn't have any weapons to defend themselves. So now they're trying to come after ours. They're using all these young white boys that's shooting up all the place. Why they don't take their guns? I don't hear them saying nothing about the white community. It's only gun violence in the Black community. So back to and another thing, what Trump said on the news yesterday. Oh man, this clown. First thing he said when he got on there is, strict gun violence. And I think that would be the best. Like he's trying to blame the Republicans. The Republicans ain't even in office right now, bro. Like, so you can't even keep saying this white supremacy. They have nothing to do with this. This is all on you.
You mean
but
Biden?
Go ahead.
You mean Biden?
Yeah, Biden. He keep blaming the Republicans. He keep blaming the Republicans. Why? They're not even in office. You are. And another thing. I'm scared for my people. I ain't gonna lie. We need to start arming up and getting ready because there's a lot of people out. I'm in California, and there's people still not giving a damn. They still carrying guns on them. Like nobody don't care about the gun laws. Don't nobody care. They still shooting shit up in LA right now. So yeah, everybody turned tough, Kwame. Everybody's a real nigga out of nowhere. But man, I tell you, everybody turns to a real nigga real quick when it comes to another Black man shooting a Black man. But when it's a white boy right up in the store, ain't nobody looking for his family, ain't nobody looking for his cousin, ain't none of that. We don't hear nobody talking about it. Right. And when we yell at Black hate, we yell Black hate crime bill, ain't nobody saying nothing, but all we get is gun violence.
When it come to our community, they ready to leak addresses, pull up, get all tough, say I can't wait to see you, and yada yada, going to. I ain't even finna bring it up, but you know what they do.
Hey, when it's a white guy, they let the law handle it because they done saw what this people are doing.
They tough as hell, quoting Nene Leakes off of Housewives. I said what I said. I said what I said. But as soon as it get ready to go down, nigga, I'm calling the police. Okay.
But that's the thing. Like when it's a Black person, they'll lay in your bushes. They'll shoot up your grandma's house, your mama's house. When it's a white boy, they'll say, man, I ain't messing with them white. We'll let the law handle it. They'll let the law handle it. They'll let them go to jail. I'm telling you, the brainwashing of black folks is real. They do not have the same aggression. They do not have the same aggression as they do for a white male as they do for a black male. A white male can get caught in the wrong neighborhood and he can talk his way out of it. He can go walk through a blue Crip neighborhood or a blood neighborhood, and he can probably walk out of there with his life. He might get beat up, but a black dude, they gonna press him so hard, he'll be hard pressed to not die that day.
He gonna leave that neighborhood with no shoes on.
Exactly. They're gonna embarrass him to the fullest. A white guy, they'll just tell him, "Get from around here. What, you the police?" A black dude, they might beat him, make him leave naked. They're gonna do something to disrespect this man to the point where he has to do something violent.
Yep, Zimmerman running around selling paintings and M&Ms. Man, miss me with that. Kenan, thank you so much for joining the show. Chief Jonesy, we gonna go to you and Shawnee, and then
real quick, Angie.
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing, and I'll get off. I'll leave y'all alone. So what we gonna do if they do try to take our guns, and then at that point they can really come in and exterminate us the way they really want to? I'm just asking.
Well,
then what?
I'm glad you just asking, because that's a relevant question.
I wouldn't say it over the internet, though.
That ain't no damn
internet.
fool. We ain't giving up. What? Kwame, what you say?
I said I wouldn't.
I love y'all. Y'all be careful.
Whatever you gonna do, I wouldn't say it on the internet. I can tell you that.
Don't say it on the internet, but I done already told y'all when I was up there in Buffalo, you know, my granny and them used to say, I'd rather be caught alive with it than dead without it. And I'm going to leave it at that. Chief Jonesy and then Shawnee, talk to us right quick.
Peace to the channel, peace to Bus Live, peace to you, Sister Angela. I put this little scenario, these series of events, I'm gonna put it to us like this. This is linked to number one, this immigration open border status. What I think is that this sick federal government and the people that's running are allowing these immigrants to come in here for these what they want to quote, these one in a lifetime or lone wolf attacks. I think they're actually scripted because they just foiled a little assassination attempt on George W. Bush. And it's probably a foreigner. They said it's ISIS, but see, they didn't let ISIS get through the borders. So who's to say that all of these so-called immigrants that they're actually sending money over there, that I think they're sending these billions of dollars for them to fund their own trips back over here and then just reimburse the bag that they're getting in advance once they get over here and get their so-called refugee status. But I'm linking all these little shoes. The one in El Verde, I just seen another little piece where El Verde, that's one of the hottest little immigration open border spots, is in that El Verde. That's that little El Volde, whatever it is, that city is down there. So not only was it a shooting, not only was an 18-year-old with some sick ideology where he shoots his grandma, he was probably a foreigner.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's the one thing we haven't touched on. We haven't touched on immigration status. We have not. And there was a story here in Atlanta of another one of our black elders that was renting out an apartment to some illegal immigrants. Man, they killed that man, chopped him up in little pieces and everything. So that is another issue. And if we're so concerned about protecting our children, our citizens, why do we have open borders where anybody and everybody can flow in? Such a valid point.
We need to stand up like the organic people to the land so that we can get solidified and harnessed around that, because these foreigners have to go. And these foreigners are lawmakers. These foreigners are coming across the borders. We've been dealing with foreigners since the foundation of this incorporation. So it's time for the organic people of the land. I don't care what title you got, that you got a place. So are you organic to the land? This land we call now locally, contemporarily America, are you organic to this land? Are your 7 generations, 8 generations, 9 generations organic to the land? That's the question that must be brought to the table. And that's a lot of questions like Roland Martin can't answer yes. That little Winsome Sears, she can't answer yes. Kamala Harris, she can't answer yes. Joe Biden, he can't answer yes. So we have to start putting their feet to the fire, calling these foreigners out, these imposters out. And some of our key enemies do look like us. And so we have to also keep that in our subconscious mind, that we do have to keep an eye out on those, because those was the first hijacks that let these Tekashi 6ix9ines on the political and cultural level in. And I'll deal with that.
Thanks so much, Chief Jonesy, for joining us. Shawnee, it's on you. Everybody, y'all try to squeeze your comments down to 3 minutes. We got to wrap. Tisha, I see you back there. We're going to Shauna, and then we're going to Anthony Ridgeway, because he's been waiting for a minute. Matter of fact, Anthony Ridgeway had been on prior. Anthony, let me give it to you right quick for about 3 minutes, then we're going right over to Shawnee. Talk to us. Unmute your mic, Anthony.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Talk to us. Yep.
Yo, shout out to King Kwame, man. Appreciate him coming through on it. You know,
I'm just a
shout out
buzz,
to you.
man. I ain't no king. I'm just a buzz, bro. But I salute to you, though. Appreciate you. Good morning.
I mean, you know, bus life, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I want to get with you. I want to work with you. But Angie, I want to thank you again for going home. I couldn't get there. You know, we spoke last week. I'm from the east side of Buffalo. My eldest daughter was born right around the corner from that grocery store. I kind of indirectly helped get that grocery store built. But yeah, man. To see Biden go up there like that, I wanna shout out my folks for only letting that motherfucker be there for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? We put the call out, but I just came on, to say thank you for all that you do. I didn't email you, but I will. But really though, I think that we collectively have to make a more aggressive push towards our people. I don't care if you mad about what we got to say. I don't care if you in your feelings, like fuck your feelings. The truth is what we dealing with right now. I don't care how you feel. I don't care how you feel. Like there's we need solutions right now. And the only way we're gonna get to that is by directly letting these people know. I also want to, piggyback off of what you're saying about, it's a tragedy that they killed our children, and I'm very sorry about, what happened and everything, but they killing our elders too, because they not dying fast enough apparently for them,
And our elders got the information that's going to be the keys to the rights to this land, and they know that as well. Like I said, COINTELPRO been following our families and bloodlines and royalty status since they came up with the technology. We must keep that in the back of our minds, because this is our shit. Excuse my language.
Thank you for bringing that up, because you're exactly right. I'm not, my mind ain't all the way there right now to say that, but that's exactly what it's about. Our elders know who their elders were. They know who their elders were. Something that came on to me in the past couple of days is it's a reason why our people went by oral tradition instead of writing stuff down. We memorize stuff. If you memorize it, through word, and you can, recite it through word, I don't need no piece of paper. You could take a piece of paper, you could burn it, like they burned up all the library, like they burned Timbuktu, like they tore down all of our temples that we had here, like you destroy all of this information, but if it's passed down verbally, then the people know. And to the point that you just made, yes, our elders know, well, yeah, my grandmother was a Cherokee Indian, my great grandfather was a Creek Indian. We were this, we were that. And by eliminating our elders, yes, they will take that away. And that is what's most important. And I agree with you, bro. It's about our land right now. I want my land back. I need Alabama. I need Alabama. That's my shit. I need my shit back.
I appreciate you so much for joining the panel this morning, Anthony. Thank you. We're going to get on to a couple more guests before we get ready to wrap up. But y'all, it's not only an attack on our elders, it's also an attack on our babies. That's with this abortion agenda. That's what we're seeing with the shortage of milk. That's what we're seeing with the gender identity agenda with our young babies. It's an attack on life, period. That's why we got to wake up. Shawnee, they trying to tell us we got monkeypox and we need to forget about our elders in Buffalo. Talk to us right quick.
Sis, I have to be honest with you. First of all, let me say good morning to you, my sister, who I love you. I love you, sis. And then second, I have to say good morning to the Gullah Geechee man that's on the panel this morning. And
Good
then
morning to you.
good morning, and good morning to the rest of the panel and everybody in the chat. Sis, my heart is with my people. My heart is with my people. And let me say this, I do not suffer from Stockholm Negro syndrome. Okay? Now, I'm very sorry about what happened to the little ones down there in Texas. But I care about my people first and foremost. That's what I care about. I care about my people first and foremost, like they care about their people first and foremost. Since you was up there in Buffalo, New York, how many Spanish people did you see up there? How many was out there supporting? I saw your video. And then the second thing I want to say, did you know your minister of truth? She got dismissed. She is no more. Your minister of truth, Sister Angie, that you were speaking on, she is no more. They got rid of her.
Who is the minister of truth? What are you talking-
The woman that was doing the nursery rhyme.
Oh, I didn't see that part. I had to go back and check that video.
Yeah, they got rid of her. Okay, now let's
What do you mean get rid of her?
They fired her. They fired her because the White House put out some disinformation, and it got out there in the public, and they got checked on the information they put out about Ukraine. And they spoke about it, and they said, well, how come your minister of truth didn't catch this on time? So they brought her on up to the White House. They had a conversation. Next thing you know, she fired, but they let her save face and say she was resigning. But she done made some very controversial statements before Joe Biden gave her that.
Yeah, I had showed some videos of her prior too. Like, I was like, what's going on in our government? But y'all, listen, I appreciate the love and support too, Shawnee, and I appreciate you us educating us too on Cory Booker and what's going on up there. You know,
I'm on him.
Jersey.
Oh,
But
I'm
we
on
gotta
him.
be active, y'all. We got to listen. We got to hold these people accountable and protect our children and fight and build up, you know, our own entities in the background and our own support groups. We have to multitask. This ain't no moment where we can be focused on just no one thing because we got too many attacks coming from too many different angles.
That's
Shawnee,
right.
I'm gonna let you wrap up and then we gonna
All right, let me wrap up with this. Let's see how many of them, let's see how many in the Black Caucus come out and speak on what done happened down in Texas. Let's see how many of them speak out. And I'm going to end with this. I've been studying monkeypox since before they announced it on the news in America. And I done tracked it. And I done been listening to independent news journalists overseas. And I've been listening to doctors overseas. Monkeypox started in Spain and Portugal first. And then it jumped over to England. And then from England, it jumped over to Canada. And then from Canada, the Caucasian man in Canada, he had relations with a Caucasian man in Massachusetts. And that's how monkeypox came into this country. And monkeypox, you can look it up. It is the result of bestiality, orgies that they was having over there in Europe. And then two men or a woman and a man exchanged bodily fluids between one another, and it just kept spreading. So what I'm going to tell you, family, is protect yourself. Protect yourself, because it only spreads two different type of ways. It spreads through a wild animal, you know, like out in the bush in Africa, biting you that is infected, or it spreads by human to human bodily contact, having sexual relations. Thank you, sis, for your time. I appreciate all of y'all.
Thank you, Shawnee. I appreciate it. Kwame, they said the monkeypox came over here through bestiality.
Well, I done been with a few women that looked like beasts when I was a little tipsy, but I don't think I messed with beasts. So I think I'm gonna be okay with monkeypox.
Tisha, talk to us, then we get into fitness instruction. Don't forget, y'all be looking on the screen. We got the senator's number up. We're gonna call him and demand a duplicate of Bill S-937 on behalf of the Black African American community. Look for your senator, get his number. Talk to us right quick, Tisha. You got 3 minutes. We're gonna move on down the line. Everybody also,
Hold on, real
my brother Kwame and support the show.
Ange, can you send me that real quick through email?
This senator list, yep.
I want to play. I want to play that too. I want to put that up on my show so we can get some people talking about it on my show as well, because that's important, and that's the key to you. I think that's why they want to stop you, because you have that inside knowledge that you can spread on your page, and then it can go to other people's pages, and then people can be more informed. A part of the problem with our community is that we're not informed. We listen to whatever news station that we like through our parents or whoever else, but they used to listen to. But sometimes we're not getting all of the information. And the way you deliver it, raw and real, like we can understand it, that's why Ange is so important. So y'all please support the page, support the channel. It's more than just a channel. She's out there in real life. You saw her in New York. Anytime there's a situation, she's there. So you're supporting a real person and not just a channel. So I just wanted to say that.
That's true, y'all. Thank you, Kwame. Yep, I appreciate it. That's exactly what I do, man. I go and get on the scene and be where the people need me, and we got to be a voice, and we got to demand that they act on our behalf. Tisha, it's on you. Then fitness instructor. Then we going to Marco. We getting ready to wrap up. Talk to us.
Good morning. Good morning. I want to say good morning, Kwame and Angie. I just got to say a couple of things. I got to say something. I really want to talk to Black women right quick, because right now we gotta be open, and we got to be honest with ourselves. The government has their foot on our Black men's neck in way more than one way. And they have their foot on our Black men's neck. They're sitting up here taking out our elders. You know, this last COVID spell took out a lot of our elders, and now they're coming for our children, right? Black women, I need you guys to stand up. I need you. We need you. Our future depends on you. Our womb, our next, our survival depends on us. It has to be more of us sitting up here talking on behalf of our men, not standing behind our men, but next to our men, arm in arm. We need to take up for our children. We need to be mindful and watchful. And above all else, we need to start respecting our children, start loving our children again. I see like when, what's his name? Oh, Lil Nas X, when he said, excuse my French, but fuck them kids. Oh, you should have seen the wave of women here in Dayton, Ohio. That was their favorite motto, was fuck them kids. So as a result, these children are being left behind. So if we're losing our children, we're losing our men, we're losing our elders. It's us that's left. I want to know what we're going to do.
Ma'am, did you say that women started saying what Lil Nas X said?
Yeah, here in Dayton, Ohio, Kwame. Yes, yes, to their own children. This is on top of them aborting their children. Like, it's a real life hate for self that's really deep and embedded in our culture and in our community, and we have to find some way to replace that hate with love. And then I got another question for you, Angie. This is a real life question for real. It's kind of political. I see everything that's going on. I see this racism. We're baiting racism against each other, even though when I go to work, I work right next to white people who can be some of the sweetest people ever, not to ever say that I'm going to let my guard down. But my question to you is, do you think our country is being currently infiltrated by an outside force?
You asking me?
Yeah, do you think this country is being infiltrated by an outside force? Because it's like, I never, like, not even in the 70s and 60s when racism was at its height, were they pitting and baiting racism at us in such a strong way. Not to, like, it's just so strong, but yet and still when we all go out here and we go to work or we go to grocery stores, we'll sit up here and just unknowingly have a conversation with somebody white, and they'll have the same opinions and views as we do.
So, you know, but we've been so absolutely, because what happens is, like the gentleman was speaking, Chief Jonesy, and he was talking about us allowing foreigners in and then them being able to run and get office within our government. This is one of the reasons why we see Senator, Hibishiro introducing the COVID-19 Act on behalf of Asians and Americans. When these people get in office that don't necessarily reflect our views, they get in and they begin to push their own agendas. That's why we see a lot of these people in the Democratic Party all of a sudden taking a rise to the top, because they are in fact plants. And that's why I say we need to pay attention to the people that we're voting to. How do these new people that we never seen in our community, never seen them putting work in our community, rise so fast to the top? someone that's really for the people, which have some type of track record of being active in the community that they say they want to represent prior to just popping out of nowhere. Not only that, I've also pointed out about how some of these new social justice movements and organizations are funded. They get their funding directly from, you know, the George Soros Foundation. You can go do research on this. The George Soros Foundation only supports social justice initiatives and abortion. So anything like BLM that got us on the front line that's talking about, you know, using us, you know, as a bulletproof vest to push their issues for gender identity or abortion, all of that stuff is tied together. And one of the reasons why they want to teach our children so much about sex is because once our children begin having sex at an earlier age, then that does what? Leads to more abortion. And that's why they want such a sexual, you know, hyper environment that we live in. So this is not the majority of the people, right? The majority of us got good common sense. We know doggone well we don't need to be telling our little boys that they need to be girls, nor do we need to be aborting full-term babies. Trust and believe that the majority of us have good sense. But just like Malcolm X said, he who controls the media controls the masses. And that's what we're seeing right now. So let's get to our girl fitness instructor, and then we getting ready to close out. To everybody that did decide to donate today, I appreciate you all so much. Let's wrap up and move to our girl over at fitness instructor. Thank you for joining us, Tisha.
How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. I wanted to piggyback on a couple of things. I should have wrote some stuff down, but I was listening to the young man that was saying earlier about how there's probably an agenda in this area of North Carolina. I'm with Jamel. Like, I feel like that there's nobody here that's learning the things that's going on in their area. I noticed about 4 years ago that they started clearing out the rural areas. They started cleaning out the forest areas. And I kept saying to myself, I was like, why are they, you know, removing the trees? You know, we need the trees. You know what I'm saying? And gentrification as far as the farmland and stuff like that. And then I found out that Bill Gates bought a lot of a lot of land here in North Carolina. And it was like, what's really happening? This was like about 4 years ago. And I kept noticing it, I was thinking to myself, you know, the storms are coming, but they're not moving the trees from the power line. They're moving the trees from the inland. They're moving the trees from the farmland areas, but they're not farming. And all of these things, and now they have so much land for sale here. So if you want to come to North Carolina, they have so much land here in North Carolina for sale. Around my area, I have my own land and whatnot. But in my area, it's old land, it's farmland, but nobody's farming. I'm looking around, so we really need to come together in North Carolina, because these people here, they're so brainwashed that they think this monkeypox is actually something that they can catch by blowing on them. And I'm going to the gym, and all I see is foreigners at the gym, and they're working out so hard, like they're working out for a marathon or something. I really don't know why I'm seeing so many. It's like they're preparing for something. It's really weird in this atmosphere here. I'm seeing more people that I haven't seen before. And a lot of the people that I do know, they're like in hiding or something. It's really, really weird in this area. I'm noticing when I watch like certain shows, and I don't want to, like I said, like other people say, conspiracy. I don't believe in conspiracy. I think that this coincidence. Excuse me. And I'm looking at certain things that happen around the world, and it's happening mostly in those areas where these people are running from or coming from. Like there's something that's in their area that they're leaving for a reason, and I don't know what it is, but I think that we all need to be aware that there is something that's getting ready to happen because they're distracting us from something. This is a distraction, all of this gun laws and trying to take away our guns and things like that. My husband and I, both of us carry. He has a concealed carry and I have an open carry. So we're ready, whatever is coming. So it's like, and you know, state of North Carolina, you know, it's open carry anyway. You don't have to worry about not having having a bunch of gun laws in this Bible state. So it's like we really need to be aware of the things that's happening. My mama used to have a program called the Aware Family Program, and she's passed on now. But I use it as an outlet for people to know that, you know, we definitely need to be aware of the things that's going on in this area and other areas so that we can keep ourselves abreast. And I'm gonna go from this crying. Thank you for
all right, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Fitness instructor, and she right. You know, we need to get active, y'all. You know, we send our condolences to the families over in Texas this morning. I can't imagine more pain or something more painful than to send your child to school, your baby to school, your baby that you are a parent and a protector of, and you sending your baby to learn, and then you get a call that your baby is no longer with you. We absolutely feel for those families, but we also feel for our families. We feel for our loved ones in Buffalo, our elders who can't go to church, who can't go to the grocery store, our children who can't go to school without fear of being shot dead. The defenseless is what we're talking about. And we're not going to allow, you know, a government to make us feel like, you know, our elders or our people are less than. You know, everybody is traumatized of what's happening. But like I said before, y'all, trust and believe that community is going to stand up and they're going to fight for theirs. We need to make sure that we stand up and we fight for us and we fight for ours, in addition to us standing with everyone else. But we can see clearly when it's time to stand with us that they won't do that. So let me shout out the people this morning that supported the show. Thank you all. I appreciate it. We raised almost $500, but hey, that's enough to get a plane ticket somewhere. Remember, I told you before, if we all do our part, with over 1,000 people viewing, if everybody just donated $1, you know, that can help us out. But shout out to Debt Clear, Patricia, my girl Mathis, who always supports. I love you. Amila McGee, my boy Kwame, who always supports as well. I appreciate you. Carolyn Jackson, Shonda Franklin, LaDominic, who always supports. Change is Good, always supports. Kimberly Rogers. I'm seeing a lot of repeat people in here. Thank you all so much. Rashid Rollins, Leroy Stanley, thank you. Brianna Banks, Jamel Lee, Mari, Darth Low IQ, thank you again. Yolanda Mitchell, Lisa. I appreciate you all this morning. We up in here, man, and we're going to continue to fight. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Trey BN. Thank that brother for standing, because many people ain't willing to stand up. You know what I'm saying? And stand on what we know to be, what we hold to be true. Don't forget this list right here. Oh, Miss Florence, thank you so much. I see your Cash App just came in, and Jamel as well. I appreciate you. Don't forget this senators list. If you all do not have this list, or you weren't able to get this number from off the bottom of your screen, you need to make sure that you visit the website at the bottom, right? The website at the bottom. Let me scroll it again. Go over to the organization. Sign up for the mail letter. You guys are going to be getting this in the mail, in the email, in addition to us sending you out a questionnaire to see if you are interested in being an ambassador for this anti-Black hate crime bill in your state. Not only do we need ambassadors in each state, people that are willing to go knock on the doors, right? I need you to go visit your local Congress. I need you to go down there to your state capitol. You need to show up, and we need to show them that we are serious. But also, if you are in Atlanta, next Saturday, we're doing a free gas giveaway for the community, and we are looking for volunteers. So I'm getting ready to scroll an email down at the bottom of the screen. For those of you who have not had a chance to donate and you would like to, you still have time. But right now, I'm getting ready to put this email down at the bottom of the screen. Send an email if you want to volunteer for the free gas giveaway. Right here. Wait a minute. go. There you go. Down at the bottom and put volunteer at the headline. This will be next Saturday, June 4th. We're going to be out there starting at, I think I only need you for 2 hours. So if you're available, you're in Atlanta, you can be a part of the free gas giveaway. Come out, help us, put some gas in some cars. We're going to hold up some signs. We're going to get our community. I might bring a grill out there. I don't know. Maybe we can get some hamburgers and some water or some potato chips, listen to some good music. I don't know, but we're going to go show up and show out for our community. So if you are in the Atlanta, Georgia, or near the Atlanta, Georgia area, we are looking for volunteers to help with the free gas giveaway. And don't tell nobody I told you, but we do compensate our folks. So if you agree to come out, we will have something for you. We ain't saying this no get rich quick scheme. You gonna make no $3,500 in no 2 hours. That ain't that. But we are gonna show you that we appreciate you and your time. So down at the bottom is the email. Go ahead and put in the subject line, volunteer free gas giveaway. Somebody from my office will be reaching out to you, making sure that you have all of the information. Family, I'm out. I'm out. Much love to y'all. I'll see you guys again soon. My baby walking across the stage tomorrow, man. I couldn't be more excited. Hold on to your babies. Tell them how much you love them. Hold on to your loved ones. Hold on to your parents. Tell them how much you love them. Let's get this work in and build up our community. I'll see you guys again soon.